friends, I'm Anne and welcome to Chronically Beautiful, where we're trying to live our best life even though we probably don't feel like it. And today is another video in my series on acupressure. And today we're just going to be working with acupressure points that you can find in your hands. And sometimes it's nice to just have points if you are somewhere in public and you aren't feeling well or you need a little something. You can do this very discreetly. It's easy also if you're in a situation where you just are maybe bedridden or you're struggling to reach other parts of your body, you don't have someone to help you. There are many different points on your hands that can really help you to feel better. So we're going to be talking about 8 useful acupressure points on the hands. If that sounds like something you're interested in, stick around. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the video, and sharing my videos and giving them a thumbs up are just the best compliment that you could give me and are so helpful in helping YouTube to notice me. So thanks so much for doing that if you enjoy the video. All right, let's dive right in. I just want to remind everyone that, of course, I am not a doctor. I am not an expert. I am someone who is desperate for relief from chronic pain and have used all of these over the years and have found success and relief. So please make sure that you are talking to a doctor before you try any of these different strategies, especially if you are pregnant. If you are pregnant, you should not be using acupressure until you have spoken to a doctor about it. First point we're going to talk about is known as Heart 7 or H7 or Shen Men. And that is going to be found under the hand on the wrist. And so you can feel a tendon right here on the outside of the wrist, and it's right on the outside of that tendon, just right below the hand. And it's near, there are a lot of points right in this area. So this is the H7, Heart 7 can be found right here. Why would you want to use Heart 7? This one is known to calm the spirit and nourish the heart. And I just love that. Damn you, Jeff Bezos. And it is known for helping with anxiety, insomnia, heart palpitations. And that's a big one for me. I do suffer from a fair bit of insomnia, and I often wake up in the middle of the night with my heart just slamming, and it's a kind of a scary symptom to deal with. I don't know why it happens, but I know that using this pressure point really helps to kind of calm down when my heart's being irregular. And if you are having regular heart palpitations and really struggling with that, you should most certainly see your doctor to make sure that you don't have a bigger problem going on. This point is also known to help with depression. And so just on a regular basis, when you're feeling situationally depressed or anxious, it's just a nice comfort place to apply pressure, gentle pressure, for, anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds over a period of 2 to 5 minutes. And don't be so hard on it that it hurts you, but you want to give that gentle pressure, and that is the same for all of these. And for most of these points, you can always use a gua sha type tool. What I've got in front of me today is just a pen with it closed, and you can use that for a fine point, as well as just your good old fingers. These are the best tools you have. SI3 or small intestine 3 or Ho Shi is going to be our next point. And again, please don't come at me if I'm doing my best with the Chinese pronunciations. I'm using the translator and everything, but I do not know Chinese, so I'm doing my best. So this one is going to be found, and you can, of course, any of these you can do on either hand. I'm just always showing you on my left hand because I happen to be right-handed. So you're going to make your fist, make your hand into like a half fist, and in that you can feel right by your knuckle here, your metatarsal bone, metacarpal, it's one of those two. Right here behind your knuckle, you're going to feel a depression there on the outside of the hand. And if you look, you can see that depression as well. That is the SI3 point. This point is useful for problems with your lumbar spine, sacrum, and coccyx.
We'll spill the sand dunes today. Proper coccyx.
Some even say that it can help with loss of hearing, and it's also helpful for those headaches that just kind of collect in the back of your head, as well as neck pain and tension. So this one's a pretty good little powerhouse that can help you with a lot of different issues. Our next point is actually 10 points. This is one of my favorite ones when they do it when I'm getting a massage. This is called the 10 Dispersions, or Xian, which is the Chinese. So these are found on the tips of our fingers, the very tips of all of our fingers. And this is an excellent one if you have a small tool, a pen, a pencil. You can just go right in and apply pressure firmly but gently on the tips of these fingers. And the 10 Dispersions is known to help with cold and flu-like symptoms, sore throat, high fever, chills, sneezing, runny nose, all of those types of things, all those good, disgusting symptoms that we've all been through. And so cold, flu, allergies, COVID, anything you're dealing with where you're having those types of symptoms, this is known to help. Now, this one I would recommend using some kind of a little tool, but my little pen here is perfect, although it does leave little circles on my fingies. And so we just press and hold. You can use a fingertip. You could even take your 10 fingers and press them against each other, and then you were applying that pressure to all 10 fingers at once, which is really an efficient way to do this one, but not terribly relaxing because you're having to put that pressure. So this is a nice one to have somebody else do for you while you're lying there not feeling well. Our next point is one that I use often. I've also talked about it in other videos, but this is P6, also known as the inner gate point, or Ni Guan. And again, I'm so sorry, I'm not doing those Chinese pronunciations well. So this one is found on the inside of the wrist between our two tendons. And then you use your hand and do 1, 2, 3 fingers down. And where that third finger is, that's where you can find that point. And my favorite way to use this point is by using C-band bracelets. And they are a stretchy bracelet, and they've got a bead on there that kind of presses in as you wear them. And that way it's a hands-off approach to getting that pressure point stimulated for as long as you need it to be. And this one is excellent for nausea, vomiting, even vertigo, motion sickness, digestion, and any kind of stomach pain. And this is probably my most often used one. You can also use a tool, a pen, your finger, your thumb, but my favorite is to use those bracelets. In a pinch, you could even take some kind of a round button or candy and tape it on there, or use a Band-Aid, but that is an excellent one for when you're just not feeling well. You're about to go on a boat, you're going on a car trip, and you know you get car sick. There's even been reports of patients in chemo that have found a bit of relief from using this P6 pressure point, or the inner gate. Opposite of that is the outer gate, which is found in exactly the same spot, but on the back of the wrist. So again, we use our 3 fingers. It is between those 2 tendons. It's on the back of the wrist. And you can even use your bracelets, just turn them around and press down, and put the button right here in the spot. You can press it, of course. The easiest way for me, I think, is just by using my finger on the back of my wrist. And this is known to give you a rush of energy and just kind of help you to feel motivated and pushing through. So if you wake up in the morning and you find that you're just really, really struggling, some people find that throwing those bracelets on in the morning and having that outer gate point being activated helps them to just feel much more exuberant and helpful in the morning. Wrist point 1 is one that is another one of these that doesn't necessarily help with a physical painful symptom, but it is one that can help with more emotional type of symptoms. This one is said to promote happiness and regulate your emotions. So maybe if you're like having a meltdown or just having a really rough day, I know that for me, those happen more often than I would like. That's just part of life when you're dealing with anxiety, depression, chronic illness, or just life in general. Sometimes we all have those moments. So wrist point 1 can be found by running your hand down your pinky all the way until you get to the crease of your wrist. And right there at the base of where you ran your finger down your pinky, right at the base of the wrist is where wrist point 1 is. And so this one is similar to a few others. There's the one that we covered earlier, Heart 7, which is on the outside of that tendon, more on the side of the wrist and the base of the hand. This one is right on the inside, running down our finger. So we place that there. And for some of these wrist ones, you could also use your C-bands and just move them to the different places and press that on there. C-bands are definitely an investment I would highly recommend you make. They're very cheap. You can find them at your local drugstore, or you can find them on Amazon or wherever it is that you like to shop for those kinds of things. They're really inexpensive and are super, super helpful for a lot of these different hand points. Now, if we move over to the other side of our hand for the base of the thumb point, and we're going to be having our finger follow our thumb down and just find that kind of meaty part at the bottom, and it's right below where that meets our wrist. This is the base of the thumb point. The base of thumb point can help you with breathing and respiratory problems. So these could be problems that are coming from your allergies, cold, flu, or any other ailment that you might be dealing with, asthma, even patients with emphysema, lung cancer. Obviously, you should be seeing a doctor and being treated for very serious respiratory and breathing problems. But when you are desperate and have tried everything else, or if you are not interested in traditional medicine, all of these points are super helpful for some of our ailments. But if you are experiencing real respiratory distress, you definitely need to call a doctor immediately. The final point we're going to talk about in our little hand acupressure video is called the hand valley. And it makes sense because it's in this little valley area between your index finger and your thumb. There's this like extra skin here. It's kind of the weenus of the hand. Does everybody know what a weenus is? It's this dead, like useless skin at the tip of your elbow that flaps. This is the hand weenus. But anyways, so the hand weenus or hand valley point, copyright Chronically Beautiful Hand Weenus. That's all me. Please don't think that I did anything other than make up that nonsense. This point, you can put a lot of pressure on that. It's known to help reduce stress as well as migraines, toothaches, shoulder pain, neck tension, all kinds of things in this area. I use this one often for headaches. And this one's kind of cool because it's in this sort of area, and if you don't want to sit there and press down on it, you can, I just have a craft clip here because I'm in my craft room, but you could take something like that and just clip it on. Now this is awfully tight because it's a little wood clamp, but something like a clothespin or, you know, a chip clip kind of thing, one that's not going to hurt you, but you can just press that on there and it's hands-free acupressure. So that's a really good one and has been useful for me in dealing with headaches. And oh man, when you have a toothache, you will try anything. So grab this guy, clamp it on there while you're trying to figure out the other things you're going to do, get your ice and all of that. So this has been 8 different hand acupressure points that you might use to alleviate pain or stress in your life. This is not all of the acupressure points that are found in your hands. It's just 8 of them. It's just 8 that I have found useful. There are plenty more. Again, I am not an expert. I just know what works for me and what is helpful in my life as I am dealing with my chronic illness journey. So if you've got some different points that you have found really helpful to alleviate some of these symptoms, I would love if you commented below and let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for going on this adventure with me. Keep coming back, take care of you, and if nobody has told you, you deserve to live your best life. Bye. When you have the posture of a troll. Okay, I just have to say I am wearing my new favorite outfit. It is a sweatpants onesie, and it's the best thing I've ever seen. And I got it for $11 at Target. Loving it.